For a man known for his calm smile and steady presence, this moment felt different. Ben Shephard has always been the one who reassures everyone else. The familiar face who greets mornings with warmth, balances humor with sincerity, and somehow makes even the busiest days feel manageable. So when viewers sensed a shift, something quieter, something deeper, it didn't go unnoticed. It wasn't dramatic. It wasn't announced. It was felt. Those who followed Ben for years could see it in the smallest details. A pause where a joke usually landed, a breath taken a little longer than usual, a look that suggested reflection rather than routine. And suddenly, fans everywhere realized they were witnessing something rare. Ben Shephard allowing emotion to surface. Not because he wanted attention, but because life sometimes doesn't ask permission. Behind the scenes, this was a period that gently shook his sense of certainty. Not in a loud or chaotic way, but in the quiet way that makes you stop and reassess everything. The kind of moment that reminds you that even the most composed people carry private worries. And through it all, Annie stood right there. Annie, who knows Ben beyond the polished moments, who sees the man behind the smile, the one who knows when he's joking because he's happy and when he's joking because it's easier than explaining how he really feels. She never expected to see him like this. Not because he hides things, but because Ben has always been the steady one, the fixer, the optimist, the man who turns tension into laughter with a single comment, usually followed by that familiar grin. But this time, the laughter came a little later. Friends close to the couple say there was a moment, quiet, unplanned, where Ben simply let the weight of everything sit. No cameras, no scripts, just honesty. And when emotion finally showed itself, it wasn't overwhelming. It was human. Annie didn't rush to fill the silence. She didn't demand explanations. She simply stayed. There's a special kind of romance in that. Not the grand, dramatic kind, but the real kind. The kind built on years of shared mornings, inside jokes, unspoken understanding, and knowing exactly when to say nothing at all. Love that doesn't need words because it already knows the language. Of course, this is Ben Shephard we're talking about, so humor was never far behind. Apparently, not long after that emotional moment, he managed to crack a joke about how worrying uses more energy than exercise. Annie, unimpressed but smiling, reminded him that rest still matters. He replied that relaxing has never been his strongest skill. Some things truly never change. That mix of sincerity and humor has always been Ben's signature. It's how he connects, how he copes, and how he reminds himself and others that even serious moments don't erase joy. When fans began to sense what had happened, their response was immediate and heartfelt. Messages poured in from people who felt like they'd grown up with him, viewers who remembered watching him during early mornings, big life changes, quiet routines, and family moments. People shared stories of how his warmth had been a constant during their own uncertain times. Many admitted they were surprised by how emotional they felt. But maybe that makes sense, because when someone has spent years being a source of calm, seeing them need that same calm in return hits differently. It reminds us that the people who support us also need support. That strength isn't about never feeling, it's about allowing yourself to feel and still moving forward. Annie's role during this time became quietly powerful. No spotlight, no statements, just presence. She made sure life didn't suddenly feel heavy. Conversations stayed light when they needed to, serious when they mattered, and laughter, always laughter, found its way back in, even if it arrived softly at first. Friends say their home became a place of gentle reflection and playful normalcy. Shared meals, familiar routines, teasing remarks exchanged over tea. Ben being reminded often that he doesn't have to carry everything alone. At one point, he reportedly joked that Annie has a sixth sense for knowing when he's pretending everything is fine. She didn't deny it. That's love, the kind that sees through smiles without judging them. Slowly, Ben found his rhythm again. Not because every worry disappeared, but because perspective has a way of changing after moments like this. The little things mattered more. The ordinary days felt richer, and the laughter, when it came, felt earned. Those closest to him noticed a subtle shift. More pauses to appreciate moments, more gratitude for routine, more openness in conversations that might once have been brushed aside with a joke. And yet, he's still unmistakably Ben, still warm, still witty, still that reassuring presence millions recognize, just a little more grounded now, a little more reflective, a little more real. Annie remains right beside him, as she always has been, not surprised anymore, but steady, supportive, ready to face whatever comes next with the same quiet strength she's always carried. Because love isn't about predicting every challenge, it's about standing together when challenges appear without warning. This story isn't about fear, it's about connection. It's about remembering that behind every familiar face is a human story, that even those who make us smile need moments of reassurance, and that humor, when shared with love, can make even uncertain moments feel lighter. If this story made you pause, smile, or feel a deeper appreciation for the people who show up in your daily life, stay connected. Moments like these remind us why we care, not just about the faces we see, but about the humanity behind them. Some emotional moments don't need headlines. They just need understanding. And sometimes the strongest thing a person can do is let themselves be seen.